AFC East. Do you want to lead the way or you want me to do it? What's up, you?
Nah, this your division. Go ahead.
Man, fuck everybody but one team. If you don't know, if you were listening to earlier, yes, I'm a Patriots fan. And the AFC East, even though it's not the best division, I think it's going to be pretty close this year, based on some moves from the Jets. Um, and I think my team will surprise some people. But with that being said, our AFC East review is beginning now. Um, it regrets me to say I have a 2-way tie for first. Like I have a good half and a bad half, pretty much is what I see as far as what I think our records are going to be. So for the worst team though, I'll still give a number order. Unfortunately, my Patriots are last on this AFC East list in this division. But I think they are going to fight their way to be tied or close with the Dolphins. But right now, we're just talking about the Patriots. uh, Trey, why are you smiling right now?
What? I'm listening. I'm with the viewers right now. I'm just listening to see what the hell you got to say.
I think the Patriots. Unfortunately, I love my team, but Mac Jones is our quarterback, and I'm not too excited about it. I think because of that, not only that, but just the offense in general, because we really don't have no more wide receiver. Our best receiver is Juju, and for some reason, Belichick refuses to draft a great wide receiver in the first round for whatever reason. He tried with N'Keal Harry. That was a big dump. Uh, but because he refuses to surround this our quarterback with good weapons, um, that's the reason why we're not going to be that good. And I wouldn't be surprised. Um, I see us getting eight wins. To be honest, um, I think that. Hold on, because I'm looking up something. Hold on. I mean, this is what I battle with. I battle with how bad this team is going to be. Like, not how good the team is going to be, but how bad it is. Because Mac Jones is our quarterback, I think we're going to come up to a very slow start. Like, I see us going 2-5 to start the season. But I think this is what's going to happen is that a lot of people. Last season, Bailey Zappi had a few games where he started, and he ended up undefeated in games that he started. Okay, Mac Jones came in after those games he started. He just got the starting job back, and then they threw Zappi back in, and they lost that game, and they never went back to Zappi. But any game that Bailey Zappi started, he won, and he was undefeated. Now, granted, I think it was only like 3 games, but still, I think Bailey Zappi takes over as a quarterback after 5 to 6 games, and he finishes the season, and we no longer have Mac Jones as our quarterback unless an injury or something like that happens. And I think that saves the season. With that being said, though, we still end up with like 8 wins, and it's not going to be a good season. Our defense is what's going to hold up the bargain, but because the offense is going to be so bad at the start of the season, they're going to be tore up when it comes to the end. So I just Bill will always give us a great to elite defense, but just the offense is gonna fuck it up for everybody. So go ahead, what you got, Trey?
They just didn't do enough in the offseason to improve. Like I said, they're always going to be a well coached team because of Bill Belichick. Their defense is always going to give opposing QBs a hell early on in the game, and it just depends on what the offense can do enough to either stay in the game or to possibly take the lead or not. But again, Bill Belichick, because of his respect and what he's able to bring to a team coach wise, you can never count them out completely. But in general, again, they did not make enough moves in the offseason, and I do have them as the worst team in this division. Um, by far, they're the worst team in the division.
I miss Tom Brady, man. I miss him so much. It don't even make sense. And I'm so tired of Mac Jones I mean, I think he might play a little bit better than last season, but like it's not going to be that world of a difference. I mean, we finally got a real offensive coordinator, but I don't see it playing out good. If we are good, I'll be highly surprised though. I'll put it at that. Who's your number two, the second worst team in the AFC East for you? Do we got the same team?
No, we do not.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll go from there. I have the Dolphins. I've got the Dolphins as my second to worst. I think those concussion issues still repeat themselves this year on Tua. I mean, I want him to do great. I think that the Dolphins' defense will be good, but I just think he continues to have issues. I mean, he gained some weight and he's taking some jiu-jitsu classes to help him on rolls and stuff like that. Uh, but if it's those are habits are very hard to break in the way you fall. And he just tends to hold the ball a lot longer than what a lot of people think. And unfortunately, this Tyreek Hill, Waddle super offense they got going, I just I don't think it will make it just because the Tua is just not dependable physically. Um, but when he's on the field, they'll be great. Hopefully, they get Dalvin Cook. You know that might help out a little bit. But I don't see. Like I said, I think history repeats itself, and Tua still had those concussion problems. And when we see it this year, I think they're just Tua's going to tap out. He already had those thoughts of retirement from last season, and I think it's going to come back to haunt him. That he's going to keep it up. So that's where I'm at.
So, well, I would say, just to piggyback a little bit, I did have, we do have the same ratings now, and that was
Yeah,
because of the key injury
that's
to.
where you. That's where you.
No, I just
Damn.
realized it came to me the Jalen Ramsey injury and him being out some weeks because they had to go get Eli Apple.
It'd be like 2 weeks
And
though. It'll only be like he'll be out for 2 weeks, like of the season.
well, the beginning, but again, it's still going to take him like I'm not going to say a whole bunch of time, hopefully, to get back to game mode, or get the in-game season mode. But in general, if you saying without the injury, just straight up, no, I'm going. That's not my 13. But the Dolphins, since we're talking about them, I do think their defense is going to be good as hell this year, and I think
Okay.
their defense is going to be legit. And again, their offense is just explosive. You can't count them out of a game just because of Tua. I do believe, I'm not gonna say I believe in freaking and Mike White, but as a backup, Mike White ain't a bad backup. He could
I
he
agree.
could sling that. Um, and I think he'll be able with the weapons he's got. He'll be able to produce enough to the defense for the defense to carry that team, and that's why I don't have them at necessarily number three. But I do think even without Tua, with Mike White as a backup, I think they could be still a player. I think they could be a possible wild card in the AFC.
We talking Mike White, dog. I ain't never thought I hear you say Mike White.
Again, it's not just him. I mean, obviously the offense is just because of they're explosive. Like they can score when they. I feel like they can. You can always gotta keep your guard up against them. You can't just sit there and say, all right, they're gonna roll over. They down 14-21. This is over. Dude, all they need is one freaking momentum play and they back in the game. Let alone again, people are sleeping on Xavier Howard. They're just giving out on him completely like he wasn't a beast, one of the best corners in the league a couple years ago. They just completely gave out on him. People saying Jalen Ramsey washed up. It's just like y'all tripping. Like what's wrong with y'all? Like
plus,
no,
plus,
I don't.
plus, Ramsey got replaced by the GOAT cornerback of all time, Eli Apple. You know, he about to be locked down, burnt toast. You know what I'm
So no,
saying?
I don't agree with that. I don't think that they're the third best team now.
So who do you
If
have
you
as your
ask,
third team? Because they're probably my second team. Good, or maybe not. You okay? You have a
I'm
stroke?
gonna, yeah, I'm contemplating life
God damn.
still, low key. I'm still contemplating life about it. Um, I was really gonna say the freaking Jets. I got the
Wow.
Jets 3. I
Wow.
got the Jets 3. I have the Jets 3 and I got the Dolphins 2. Um yeah, that's
Well,
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I got the Jets 3.
well, I mean, okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll get to that. Like I said, I had a 2 week tie for pretty much it was like 2-2, like two bad teams and two good teams. Is how I had it pictured. Well, I wouldn't say bad teams because I think the Patriots are like a medium, like they're gonna fight their way to 8 wins. It just is what it is. Like I don't see a Belichick team having less than 8 wins. Even though it's still not good, but for Mac Jones to be the quarterback and them have 8 wins, I think is a great deal. I had you're gonna hate me then. I had the Bills as my number 2 team, just because I think that Stephon Diggs is kind of showing it, but that offensive unit is having some burnout where they've had the same pieces for a couple years in a row, and it's like, what else can we do with this
Mm-hmm.
team, right? They Josh Allen is who isn't as great as what a lot of people thought he was, but he's there, right? Uh, I think that a lot of people thought that Gabe Davis was going to be the next crazy weapon, and he had a good season last season, but not nearly as what people the game breaking receiver they thought he was because he's so tall and he can stretch the field. I just think the pieces and the offense they have together have stalled out. They're very complacent and they don't know what else they can do. And I think it's because they never got that run game to
Mm-hmm.
really be working like the way they thought they were. And so that's why they've kind of stalled out because they don't know what to do now. And that's a completely systems type of deal. If you get that great run system in with that offense, it will be amazing offense. But it's not going in that direction. James Cook, it seems like everyone and that team is talking about James Cook being that number one running back now, and that they think he can be a 3 down back, which I kind of don't see, but hopefully, I mean, I think he's capable, but I mean, you just don't know until you see it.
Mm-hmm.
He's making crazy camps. I saw a video of him in training camp the other day. Um, I just, I think they stalled out, man. I mean, I just don't see how. I think they're gonna. I think they're a 10 win team, being the second best team in this division, uh, and I think they're they're gonna make the playoffs, but it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Like I said, I think this offense is just complacent. Still water is what I see them as, and I don't think they can have a better season than what they had last year.
Hmm. All right.
How do you feel
Um,
about the Bills?
well, they're my number one.
Yeah, good. Let's talk about it. Tell me why.
They're my number one. I get the whole, like you said, they've been at the mountaintop for so long, and it's just about time that somebody overthrew their ass. Um, like a president that been in office for too long. I get that. I get that. Do I think that's gonna change anything? No, I don't. Josh Allen is still fucking Josh Allen. They can still um they're like the Phoenix Suns when Steve Nash and Amari was Stoudemire was there. I think they're fast paced, score and just outscore you offense is just what keeps them winning games. I do think that's not a formula to win in the playoffs though. But if we're talking about again just their division, I do think they'll win the division because of the simple fact they're gonna just outscore anybody. Um, so again, I don't think the other team's defenses is going to be enough to stop them. And again, it's just because of Josh Allen, pretty much. I feel like Josh Allen could fucking have bums on his team at wide receiver. Like to me, Gabe Davis is overrated. I'm sorry. I think
Yeah,
he's overrated. Um, Diggs is obviously a dog. And again, they could put anybody in that goddamn slot. Like they had Cole Beasley a year. They could put old people, young people, whoever they want at wide receiver to work with Josh Allen, and it'll work. So that kind of just shows me that it's not necessarily the system. It's just that motherfucker's a beast. And because of that, and how long they've been together, I would put that over throwing Aaron Rodgers to the Jets and saying, "Go win me a Super Bowl 1 year." Who the fuck do y'all think y'all are? No, I don't think that shit is gonna happen. I think they could get they'll get to the playoffs too. Yes, I do believe that. Aaron Rodgers is still a bad motherfucker. Yes, I do. But I don't think they have enough when it comes to him adapting to the AFC style of play when it comes to outscoring and all that. No, I don't think that's what he's accustomed to. Because I feel like the AFC is more score, score, score. I think the NFC is who get more stops. And I think now that he's in the AFC, he's gonna have to do that in the playoffs. He's gonna have to score points. You're not just gonna sit there and win a game by at 24 to 16 and the end of the game in the AFC. That's not gonna be enough. You gotta put up 30, and you gotta be their quarterback can't be fucking up. And I'm not a believer completely in a 1 year turnaround for the Jets. I'm not.
You are so funny because I feel like you just have these old man thoughts sometimes and these old man ways. You gotta be hip to the new Aaron Rodgers and the new New York Jets.
He said
Because
be hip.
be hip, catch on with it, get with it, bro. You drinking Mountain Dew? That stuff is terrible for you. You gotta stop that, bro. That is some bad shit. I know I'm not the most healthiest guy on the planet, but damn, Mountain Dew is like the worst of the worst. But anyways, back to what if it's Mountain Dew in the bottle. Anyways, uh, you got to get hip and you got to catch on to the new Aaron Rodgers and this new wave that's running through New York right now, and you just got to go with it, man. He's got talent on both sides with his offense and defense. I think this team has the perfect balance of not only just offense and defense, but a running game and a pass game now. They're gonna go through their new couple ups and downs like like most teams are gonna go through. But
Mm.
because they have such a wonderful balance, it doesn't always have to be Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't always have to be the offense. It can be the defense too. And he unlike last year, he has receivers around him that are truly talented, and that just out there to ball with him. Brees Hall is coming off his injury, but even still, the Jets last year, and I'm hoping it translates this year to a really good run system. And he seems to have great chemistry with what's the receiver's name? What's his name? The number one,
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Like repping Ohio State, coming with it. I see a new wave, and I'm thinking that I used to be like you, okay? I used to be like you. I used to be very hard headed and not want or not think that Aaron Rodgers could just switch teams and it be what him have a good season. But I feel like that's instincts to kind of fight off because he is a veteran quarterback and he has ways, and I think because that team is so youthful, I think he can come in and kind of bring his mentality to that team, and be more of a disciplined team and be more offensively savvy. I think it's just a new vibe in New York, man. You just got to get with it, or you just get behind, and that's just what it is, man. You got to give it to them.
They're the fucking Jets.
So what about it, man? I don't want them to be good. Trust me, I don't want them to be good. But if I'm looking across the map and I see Mac fucking Jones versus Aaron Rodgers, like it's got to be Aaron Rodgers. If I honestly believe, and we're talking about recently MVP it's not Aaron Jones, Jesus, Aaron Rodgers too. Like it's not like he's old, but he's not like past his talent. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
get that. I just don't believe also just like the fact that, and I'm a little bit biased, the fact that Nathaniel Hackett just goes back to working with this guy, just it doesn't sit well with me. I know they have their chemistry and they love each other and they rubbing each other's dicks against each other, whatever. Um, but the fact that again, y'all back together now. Yeah, his last MVP season was under you as the offensive coordinator. Um, I don't know. Again, it's just something about it that is just I don't think when they need to play ball, I don't think they're going to be able to do that. I just don't. I don't know what it is. I feel like again, first round it's going to be a first round upset. They're going to have a crazy regular season. They might even win the division. But I just feel like if they when the playoffs come, I don't. If you name me the playoff teams, I don't think they're going to beat any of them. I just don't.
I don't blame you. I get the feeling, and like I said, that was my initial reaction when he went to the Jets. I try not to be behind the times, and I try not to like not get with it. Like I hate knocking the idea as soon as I see it happen. So I get the first instinct behind it. Um, with that being said, I only think this is a good team for a year, maybe two, and then he's out of here anyway. I think he's retiring. Uh, but I could also see this situation go horribly wrong. I could see Aaron Rodgers being who he is and wanting to do it his way, and the team being so young, kind of rebel against him because they're not used to it. Aaron Rodgers, like the Jets, not used to this type of quarterback. If we're being
Yeah,
honest. Now, an
agreed.
interesting theory I do think of is that Aaron Rodgers took a pay cut, right?
Mm,
If they trade for Devontae Adams with the money that he gave up on the pay cut, or if they get Dalvin Cook with the money he gave up on the pay cut. I think all those things could happen. I think we see this team different route. I think trading right now would be a bad idea. But I mean, if you're getting Devontae Adams, who am I to say that's a bad transaction? You know what I mean? And
it
Garrett
is because
Wilson
it's
being a
it's it's pussy. It's pussy. I'm sorry, it's pussy. Like now y'all creating super teams in football now. Like grow up. You gonna
bro.
sit
You
there and
watching? Are
follow
you
each
watching a
other?
preseason game,
No, I'm looking
bro?
at I'm looking at I did is Brees Hall on the pup list or not? I think he's on the pup
I don't
list.
think he's practicing right now. I think
No,
he's still out.
I think he's on the pup list. Like meaning the minimum he's going to be out for is the at least 4 weeks.
Is he?
That's what I'm trying to make sure. That's literally what I'm
He
doing.
got hurt like first half of the season, so I think he should be good.
He said he might be ready. All right, that's it. I just want to make sure. Because again, if he is on the pup list and he's not playing at least 4 weeks, I could definitely see them going to go get Dalvin Cook. Even though he left there without a contract and all that, I could see them saying, "Look, we're all in. We're gonna still send friends. Um, we're gonna still San Fran's strategy and just go all in on this shit and just build a team off of 1 year shits and hopefully it just plays out for the long term later. But yeah, I'm just not a believer in the Jets. I'm not. Like I said, if you tell me go with what's been working or go against something new, I'm gonna go with what's been working, and the Bills have been working. They ain't been working when they played certain people in the playoffs, but to get them there and to get them like at least to the AFC Championship or divisional round, it's been working. So that's what I'm going with.
Question: what was your initial thoughts when Russell Wilson went to uh, went to the Broncos?
When he first got there, I didn't like the fitting. I really didn't. I didn't think that Nathaniel Hackett was going to be able to work with him and work around him because of their play styles is different. He needs to run around and shit and extend the plays. And Nathaniel Hackett wants a quarterback to sit his ass in the pocket and go through his progressions and shit. That's not Russell Wilson. So I didn't think that was going to work. And luckily, it fucking didn't. Like, that
Yeah,
shit was fucking horrible. So,
I
again, this
I was
different
trying to compare
scenario.
the two situations because I think they're very similar. Uh,
Really?
no, not in terms of how they will work out, but like in terms of you take a team that is pretty much like plenty talented at almost every position, and you just take good quarterback and you place it on that team that essentially needs a quarterback to take that next step. Now, I think that obviously the Hackett situation wasn't the guy for the Broncos. So of course that situation didn't work. Whereas I think this situation kind of will. And I think Hackett being a coordinator instead of a head coach,
Mm,
I think is perfect. And I think a lot of offensive coordinators just think they can be coaches. I don't think he was at that point yet, or even remotely ready. And I think he's just way better as an offensive coordinator, which is why I think this will work. Um, and I think having such a great offensive coordinator, plus you have a head coach that's defensive minded, is again a good balance for what the Jets need.